Good morning, everyone. And I will now call to order this January 15th, 2026 Clackamas County Board of Commissioners Business Meeting. County Administrator Gary Schmidt, would you please call the roll for us?
Yes, Chair, thank you. First, our staff support today, County Counsel Billy Williams, Clerk to the Board Andrew Jaraki. Commissioner West is on county business today and not in the office. Roll call, Commissioner Schrader.
Here.
Commissioner Helm.
Here.
Commissioner Savas.
Present.
Chair Roberts.
Here. Thank you, Gary. If able, would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right, brisk morning outside. Again, welcome everyone. First up is public communication. The testimony is limited to 3 minutes per person. I just ask your comments to be respectful and courteous. As a reminder, you can also email submissions for public communication at bcc@clackamas.us, and they will be accepted as part of the public record. I will be taking in-person testimony first, and I turn to our clerk, if you'd be so kind to moderate the in-person and virtual testimony for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If you are attending this meeting in person today and wish to comment during general public communication, i.e. not during any item that has its own specific public hearing on today's agenda, this is an opportunity to please fill out a blue card and deposit in the box that can be found on the table to my right. Mr. Chair, so far I've only received one blue card. Heidi Bell. Heidi Bell, please come forward and introduce yourself. You'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Heidi Bell, and I serve as the Local Government Affairs Manager for PGE, for Portland General Electric. And my portfolio is Clackamas County and its cities. And my role is to help strengthen communication between the county and PGE to ensure that you're connected quickly to the right people within our organization. I've been listening to your meetings to learn your goals and your priorities, as well as like the C4 meetings. I've been meeting with city managers and mayors across the county, as well as some of your key staff, and I've been attending various chamber meetings too. In the coming weeks, I'll be reaching out to schedule meetings with each of you so that I can better understand your needs and support your work as it relates to PGE. One of our department's key goals is to make your interactions with PGE smoother and more efficient. So please feel free to contact me anytime you need assistance or connection within the company. I'm also coordinating with our leadership to arrange a future presentation to the Commission from a PGE executive about our work in Clackamas County. So thank you all for your time, and I look forward to learning from each of you and supporting the county's goals. And I turned in to Andrew little business cards. Well, I don't know about little, they're the same size as any other business card, but they're there and so that you have my contact information. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We sure appreciate you coming today.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Thank you.
I think we'll put you on speed dial, though.
Yes, I
And
think
that's
so.
okay.
Yeah.
I've been a city
She's
manager
very
for a long time
accessible.
before this. Yes, so I'm familiar with the 24/7 work.
Thank you. Next, Barbara Fincher. Barbara Fincher, please come forward, introduce yourself. You'll have 3 minutes. And this is a reminder, if you're attending this meeting in person, wish to comment during general public communication, please fill out a blue card and deposit in the box on the table to my right. Ms. Fincher, go ahead, please.
Well, my name is Barbara Fincher, and I walk on South Needy Road pretty much daily. There is a dog that comes barking down this long, very long driveway, very fast, up onto the road, circling me very close. On April the 20th and 24th, the dog circled around me and grabbed my sweater. I told the owner about it. On May 2nd, he scratched the back of my leg. Again, I told the owner about the dog bothering me on the road. All this was put in an incident report. Made reports on October the 19th, on November 7th, and November the 24th of 24. On November 11th and 24, he circles behind me and bumps me with his head. I made a report on December 16th, on January 5 of 25. On February 16th of 25, he bites my coat and tears it. I approached the owner again and showed it to her, and she paid me for my coat. I made another report on March 12th of 25. On March 24, I filed an affidavit. I made a report on April 24th, an affidavit on April 28th of 25. I made another report on October 10th of 25. On January 11th, 26th, he comes running down this driveway again. It's a very long driveway. There is a division and there is a gate. This time when he came up behind me. I didn't hear him come, and he literally was jumping at me. Now, if he jumps on me, his shoulders are going to hit my shoulders, and it is going to knock me over. On January the 14th, he came racing out of the gate, but this time he raced along the diagonal across the field where it would angle up almost with the neighbor's driveway across the street. And he would not leave. I kept telling him to go home. And I had to walk sideways down the road till I got to the driveway before he would go back to his drive and down home. If this dog jumps on me, he's going to knock me down. I'm 85 years old, and I could easily break a hip or any other injury. We need to get this dog from coming on the road. I have videos of this dog running and leaping at me. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling. He scares me now because it's a continuous jumping and barking at me. And I don't think the dog control is taking this very seriously. I'd like something done. Thank you.
First of all, Barbara, thank you for coming today. And what I'd like to do is make sure Andrew has your phone number and let us follow up on this matter with you. And just want to say thanks for bringing this to our attention. And I'm sorry to hear that that dog this has been going on that long. So,
From 24, yes,
Yes.
it's very long.
yeah, yes, Gary.
Yes, and the director who oversees dog services is sitting in this room. So Dan, I'd like you to reach out to her right before she leaves today and give her some more information, please.
Thank
So
you.
we'll help you as best we can.
And I will share your contact information with Director Johnson. Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
This is a final call. If you're attending this meeting in person and wish to comment and have not yet done so, to please fill out a blue card and deposit in the box to my right. Seeing no other members of the public who wish to physically comment, Mr. Chair, I'll now, with your assent, move to those attending virtually. If you're attending this meeting virtually and wish to comment during general public communication, i.e. not about an item that has its own specific public hearing on today's agenda, this is your opportunity to please raise your hand, and I will call on you in the order that I see. This is a final call. If you're attending this meeting and wish to comment during general public communication and wish to comment, please raise your hand. Mr. Chair, I see no other members of the public, either physically or virtually present, who wish to comment during general public communication today.
All right, thank you, Andrew. At this point, I'll close the public communication portion, and I'll turn to Gary as to what's next on our agenda.
Thank you, Chair. Next is a board discussion item, selection of the board's 2026 vice chair. The board, you have a policy that the first business meeting of each calendar year, which is today, you will select a vice chair from among the 4 commissioners who are not the chair to serve in the role of vice chair to the board. The role of the vice chair is that you serve as chair when Chair Roberts is out of the office for business or personal reasons. And you help consult with the chair on setting the meeting agendas. He has included the vice chair in that role. It is a rotation position that you rotate through. Commissioner Schrader is next in rotation, but she does not have to do it if she doesn't want to, and you as a board will choose who will be that person if she chooses not to. You may make a change in the vice chair at any time during the calendar year, but normally it's a 1-year position from January to the following January. So today I'm seeking your direction on who you'd like to select as vice chair of the board for 2026.
Yes.
Chair, I would nominate Commissioner Schrader for vice chair, and I'm happy to fill in any kind of
Okay.
role or absences if she's unavailable to serve.
Yeah.
Great.
Second.
All right. Commissioner Savas has moved to nominate Commissioner Schrader to serve as a 2026 Board Vice Chair. Commissioner Helm has seconded. Any further discussion?
Chair?
Yes.
Just a statement that I want to thank my colleagues for your faith in me and allowing me to take this role. I will take it very seriously, and rest assured that I will consult all of my colleagues as we try and set the agendas moving forward, because you all have such great areas of expertise in transportation, land use, economic development, human resource delivery systems. So this, for me, will be a collaborative role, and I'm grateful for your kindness. And Chair Roberts, I always have a philosophy of whoever's chair, I try and help them be, try and be helpful and help people be the best chairs that they can be in the many years I've been here. So I'm glad, hopefully I can do that for you too.
I'm sure you can.
Okay, so thank you, colleagues.
All right, thank you very much. And I'd also like to just make a comment about Commissioner Savas and just thank him through this entire past year. There's been a lot of agenda challenging items, and his experience and knowledge as being a commissioner for so long has been helpful. So just want to extend my thanks to you, Paul, for your help and guidance along the way. And I think with that being said, I'll turn to our clerk and have you call the poll, sir.
Commissioner Helm,
Aye.
Commissioner Schrader,
Aye.
Commissioner Savas,
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
Right, thank you. Thank you again
Thank-
for your willingness to step up.
Well, thank you, colleagues.
I will now recess as the Board of County Commissioners, convene as a Housing Authority Board, and turn to Gary.
Thank you. You are now meeting as the Housing Authority Board of Clackamas County. Joining you online is Housing Resident Commissioner Ann Leenstra. Are you there, Commissioner Leenstra?
I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. This is the same item you just discussed, selection of the Vice Chair for the Housing Authority of Clackamas County for 2026. Whoever the Board Vice Chair is also the Vice Chair of the Housing Authority. But because you're wearing a different governing body hat, you need to make a motion as well, in this case to appoint Commissioner Schrader as Vice Chair.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Commissioner Savas has moved to nominate Commissioner Schrader to serve as the 2026 Housing Authority Board Vice Chair. Commissioner Helm is seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, would you please call the poll for us?
Commissioner Leenstra,
Aye.
Commissioner Schrader,
Aye.
Commissioner Helm,
Aye.
Commissioner Savas,
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Just like to take a moment and thank Leestra for your incredible service. You're always here on time, volunteering day in and day out. So I know on behalf of the entire board, we sure appreciate your citizen involvement and contribution to this county. So thank you very much. And with that being said, I'll now adjourn as the Housing Authority Board and reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners. Gary.
Very good, and thank you again, Commissioner Leenstra. Next is a presentation. This is another business spotlight for you, Board, and today is recognizing the business Allied Technologies International here in Clackamas County. Presenting from our staff is Dan Johnson, Director of Transportation and Development, and Laura Edmonds, Economic Development Manager. And attending online is Thomas Isaac, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Allied Technologies. Go ahead, please, Dan. and Laura.
Thank you so much, Chair Roberts and Commissioners. I'm going to turn it over to Laura to kind of run through the background of this particular presentation that we're excited to provide to you today.
And greetings. Pleasure to be here in front of you all, Chair, Commissioners. I'm Laura Edmonds, Manager of the Office of Economic Development. So today we are presenting our fourth video in the Business Development Grant Spotlight Series. And as Gary mentioned, joining us is Thomas Isaac, CEO of Allied Technologies International. These videos represent the fiscal year 24-25 grants. And as you know, these videos are developed in collaboration with Public Government Affairs and the Office of Economic Development. So the videos have been well received. We're excited that they're really able to showcase the investment that you have selected to make to be able to support the growth and success of the traded sector industry businesses in our region. Allied Technologies International, ATI, is located in Wilsonville. They are a high-precision custom manufacturer producing components used in aerospace, semiconductors, telecommunications, and medical implants. ATI is as I mentioned, is a 2024 grant recipient that received $50,000 for a capital project to purchase equipment which added new manufacturing capabilities to their business. So we'll proceed with the video, and then after that is completed, we'll open it up for the questions for Mr. Isaac.
Allied Technologies is a precision contract manufacturing company. We make components for aerospace, orthopedic, and telecommunications industries. We specialize in high precision turning. So we make components that are extremely tight tolerances that go into the human body, so they require US FDA approval. We also make components that go into the avionics of aerospace. So the control systems of aerospace. We make components that go into outer space for satellites. We make components for telecommunications that are used in the 4G, 5G antennas. And recently, there's a lot of demand for data centers, so we make a lot of components for data centers. We moved to Clackamas County about 5-6 years back. We were space constrained when we were outside of in a different location. And then we moved here. We doubled our square footage in Clackamas County. We found this place ideal, one, easy access to the freeway, lots of manufacturing space, lots of power.
I like that we're close to a bunch of different places. In the other facility, we were secluded. There wasn't much around there, so you had to drive further to get to places. But here, we're closer to like hardware stores, so if we need tooling, it's more accessible than where we were. So we can get tools that we need faster or get to our customers faster.
We heard about the grant through a mail or email that we received from the city of Wilsonville and from Clackamas County. Seemed like a good grant for us to look into as we were looking at expanding and maintaining our competitive advantage with our aerospace customer. We were able to invest and purchase a machine that is one of the only machines in the US West Coast that enable us to make complicated components in one go instead of multiple setups and multiple operations. Now we have capabilities that expand not only into aerospace, which drove the grant and the application and everything, but now we are in the running for making some very complicated orthopedic implants that we would not have been able to make before. So this was one of the first grants, if not the first grant that we have gone after. So it's been a good experience. So we hope we can do more of these.
Commissioners, I introduce Mr. Isaac, CEO of Allied Technologies International.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity for being in the running for the grant and for the opportunity to invest in purchasing some new CNC machines. So we are grateful.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for joining us today. And I also want to give a chance for my fellow colleagues to, if they had any questions. I did have one. It sounds like, first of all, you have an incredible high-tech company there. And I was curious, you moved. Where did you move from?
From Tualatin.
Okay. So we stole you from Tualatin, I see. So I won't give you a hard time, but thank you for coming to the county. And so how long have you been in business?
We have been in business for just over 30 years, 30.
Wow.
And primarily we were in telecommunications for the longest time. Over the last 10 years, we expanded into aerospace, that expanded into outer space, lots of satellites going out. And then about 7 years back, we made a concerted effort to go into orthopedic implants, so bone screws and bone plates, and that's been pretty good also.
Fantastic. Well, we're very fortunate to have you in the county. Thank you. Wanted to give any of my colleagues, did you have any questions, Paul?
Oh, just curious, Paul Savas, Clackamas County Commissioner, thank you for being present
Paul.
today. I'm intrigued by your facility. I was, way back when I was a young kid, I was an aerospace machinist during the space shuttle time, so
Yeah.
we worked on very, very, very small things, very small, and very
Yeah.
large, and everything in between. So my question is, on the one machine mentioned in the video there that was unique, what materials do you work, and how big or small is that item if you were to compare it to whether it's a coin or it's a pencil or a human hair? I know we worked on things that had tolerances of a fraction of a diameter of a hair.
Yes, yes. So since we specialize in turning, this particular machine is 38 millimeters, so just over 1.5 inches in outer diameter and smaller. And you're right, the tolerances are extremely tight. So you're talking anywhere from 5 to 7 microns, if not lower than that. So a fraction of a human hair, translate into regular terminologies. And then you asked for the type of metals. For bone screws and bone implants, it's primarily titanium or various grades of stainless steel. So that would be 316, 316 version of stainless steel. For avionics, it is 17.4, 15.5 stainless steel, or as hard as Inconel. That's a nickel alloy that we make a lot of components that go into satellites. They are very high tensile, durable strength, but the advantage is they do burn up quickly as they fall down through the atmosphere. So we don't want things falling down after the satellite is out of commission. So Inconel falls into that. So nickel alloys fall into that category well.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. I found Inconel very challenging to work with because of its Rockwell. And
Yeah.
very, very difficult to machine, so thank you. You're speaking my language.
We would love to have you come and visit us as time permits.
Yeah, we'd love to do that.
That was my
So,
question.
thank you very much. And I know a lot of us have some metal implants, and who knows, I think I have one in my hand. It probably came from you. So I'll just say thank you in advance for doing that. And also, thank you for the incredible video. Once again, I couldn't be more thrilled. It's great to see your business highlighted, and we want to do all we can to help support you. So with
Thank you.
that,
Thank you for the opportunity.
Chair, can I
Yes,
just make
go
a
ahead.
I just want to thank Laura and for all the hard work she's doing, because it's her outreach that is really helping us build this cluster. And I had a question about the aerospace piece. 20 years ago, we incubated a group called the Pacific Northwest Defense Coalition. They just had their 20th anniversary. And what it was a group of businesses that had pulled together, realizing that they were doing work in aerospace, technology. We connected them with the National Guard. They are still probably one of the biggest manufacturing regional clusters now, because it expanded into California and Washington. And I was wondering if you've heard about them, if you're a member, or is it something that you might want to look into?
We have heard about them. We are a member of PNDC.
Ah, great.
And we are also a member of PNAA, Pacific Northwest Aerospace Alliance, I think. So, no, these clusters are very helpful, excellent networking opportunities. Thank you.
And it all started here. I've got to brag a little bit. We actually incubated the organization in our development services building, where we gave one employee a phone in a cubicle. And out of our innovation with that, I really want to thank the people who were working on this back then. That's how the organization got started. And I'm still very proud of it, and I'm glad to hear that you're a member.
Thank you. Very grateful that you guys started this. It's been invaluable.
Right. Well, thank you again very much. Thanks to Dan, Laura, and PGA for the fantastic video. I know there's folks behind the scenes that help make that happen, so a big shout out to all of you. Thank you, and thank you for joining us today, Mr. Isaacs, and we'll move ahead with our next agenda
Thank you.
item. So, thank you. Have a great day. Gary, what's next?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is a previously approved land use issue, adoption of a previously approved comprehensive plan map amendment and zone change in files Z0247-25 and Z0248-25. No county general funds are involved. Caleb Hugel, Assistant County Counsel, will present. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Commissioners, the item this morning is to adopt an order approving the file numbers just mentioned, an application for a plan amendment and zone change from low-density residential to high-density residential at property located at 1802 Southeast Torbank Road and 13614 Southeast River Road. The Planning Commission held a hearing on November 24th and voted 8-0 to recommend approval of the application with conditions as recommended by staff. The board held a public hearing on December 9th and voted 3-0 with one abstention to approve the application with conditions as recommended by staff and the Planning Commission. The order before you today would approve the application with conditions as recommended by staff and the Planning Commission, and findings supporting the decision are attached to the order. It is staff's recommendation that you adopt the order. Planning staff are here today if there are any questions, and thank you for your time.
Right. Questions, colleagues? May I have a motion?
I move we adopt the previously approved comprehensive plan map amendment and zone change in files Z0247-25 and Z0248-25.
And is there a second?
Second.
All right, Commissioner Helm has moved to adopt the previously approved comprehensive plan map amendment and zone change in files Z0247-25 and Z0248-25, and was seconded by Commissioner Savas. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, would you please call the poll?
Commissioner Schrader,
Aye.
Commissioner Savas,
Aye.
Commissioner Helm,
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Gary?
Thank you. You next have two public hearings. The first, approval of a boundary change proposal number 2025-010 for sanitary sewer and stormwater services to territory located on Southeast Tristan Avenue in Happy Valley. No county general funds are involved. Jeff Munns, Assistant County Counsel, will present. Go ahead, please.
Great, thank you. We have two public hearings today. They are both for the same properties. The first one here is for annexation into Clackamas County Service District Number 1 for sewer services to replace outdated septic service to these properties. They are 7 properties. They're all being submitted at the same time and they're going to be redeveloped or have this service hooked up for all of them at the same time. These properties are off of Southeast Tristan Avenue in Happy Valley. They are mostly developed as single-family residences. One is not. In the aggregate, it is 5.62 acres. The total tax assessed value of the property is $1,430,233, and there is a sewer line in Southeast 169th Avenue adjacent to the properties for the connection. In reviewing this, the connection is compliant with our comprehensive plan, as well as Metro Code and the statewide goals for this type of connection to properties in this zone and in the city of Happy Valley. Procedure and the notices have all been sent out properly under state law and Metro Code, and it is staff recommendation to approve the annexation.
All right, thank you. Any questions before we move on? Seeing none, at this point, I'll open public hearing. So clerk, would you moderate that for us?
Yes, Mr. Chair. If you're attending this meeting in person and wish to comment on this specific matter, this is your opportunity to please fill out a blue card and deposit in the box found to my right. This is a final call if you're attending this meeting in person and wish to comment on this specific matter to please fill out a blue card and deposit in the box found at my right. Mr. Chair, seeing no other members of the public physically present wish to comment on this item, and I'll move with your assent to those attending virtually. If you're attending this meeting virtually and wish to comment on this specific agenda item, this is your opportunity to please raise your hand. This is a final call. If you wish to comment for this public hearing, please raise your hand. Mr. Chair, I see no other members of the public, either physically or virtually present, who wish to comment on this matter today.
Thank you, Andrew. I'll close the public hearing at this time and turn to my colleagues if they have any questions or comments. Seeing none, is there a motion somebody'd like to make?
I will move we approve boundary change proposal 2025-010.
Second.
Right. Commissioner Helm has moved to approve boundary change proposal 2025-010, seconded by Commissioner Schrader. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, would you please call the poll for this?
Commissioner Savas.
Aye.
Commissioner Schrader.
Aye.
Commissioner Helm.
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
Right. Gary, what is next?
Second public hearing, approval of a boundary change proposal number 2025-011 for water services to territory located on Southeast Tristan Avenue in Happy Valley. No county general funds are involved. Jeff will present again. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. And as I said, these are the same exact properties. This is just a connect to water service from Sunrise Water Authority. Again, all the processes are followed appropriately, and it's consistent with the requirements in our comprehensive plan and state law and Metro Code. And I'll add that there was two folks here earlier that had some questions about this that live in an adjacent property, and so staff and I were able to answer their questions, and then they decided not to stick around for the hearing. We don't get a lot of visitors to these public hearings, but wanted to share that you did have some interest from the neighbors, and we do get that occasionally where we're able to answer some questions about the project. But nothing more to add for this annexation either, and staff recommends approval of the annexation.
All right, thank you. Any questions?
Can you share those concerns that they had, Jeff?
They were a little unclear if it would have any financial impact on their property.
Ah,
And it doesn't impact them for that. And I explained to them when the neighboring properties are able to connect to this, it might make the connection for them more accessible. But it has to do with topography, and their property's on 172nd, and there are connections there as well. So it may, in the future for that property to connect, there's other options for them, but this does give them some additional options as well by having all the neighboring properties connect from 169th. Because a lot, for the sewer especially, it requires the gravity in this area.
okay.
All right, thank you. All right, at this time, we'll open a public hearing, and I'll turn to our clerk again.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If you're attending the meeting in person and wish to comment on this specific matter, this is your opportunity to please fill out a blue card and deposit in the box found at my right. Mr. Chair, seeing no members of the public physically present who wish to comment on this item, I'll now, with your assent, move to those attending virtually. If you're attending this meeting virtually and wish to comment on this specific item, this is your opportunity to please raise your hand. This is a final call to please raise your hand if you wish to comment on this specific public hearing. Mr. Chair, I see no other members of the public physically or virtually present who wish to comment on this specific matter today.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Any other questions from my colleagues? All right, I'll close the public hearing portion, and is there a motion?
I move we approve boundary change proposal 2025-011.
Second.
All right. Commissioner Helm has moved to approve the boundary change proposal 2025-011, and it's been seconded by Commissioner Savas. Any further discussion? Hearing none, clerk, would you please call the poll?
Commissioner Schrader.
Aye.
Commissioner Savas.
Aye.
Commissioner Helm.
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
All right, we're moving right along, everybody. Thank you. I will now recess as the Board of County Commissioners, convene as the Service District Number 5 Board of Directors. Gary.
Thank you. This is a public hearing for the Service District Number 5 Board of Directors, the Street Lighting District. Public hearing and first reading of an ordinance adopting Clackamas County Code, Chapter 4.04, Service District Number 5 Street Lighting Rules and Regulations. No county general funds are involved. Presenting is Dan Johnson, Director of Transportation and Development, and Wendy Coriel, I don't remember your title. I'm sorry. Street lighting expert.
Service District Specialist.
Thank you. Sorry, Wendy.
That's
Go ahead,
okay.
please.
All things street lighting.
There you go.
Chair Roberts and Commissioners, I want to quickly, I don't need to remind you of this, but essentially you have a strategic plan that basically states by 2028, the county will conduct a review of all of our development regulatory processes to minimize burdens, provide an efficient and effective, timely permitting process for the community. This is a part of that effort. Essentially what you see before you is a revision to rules and regulations associated with Clackamas County Service District Number 5. The district is responsible for street lighting services within unincorporated Clackamas County and by agreement with the city of Happy Valley. These rules were adopted 1 year before I was born, in 1970, and we have not had an update or amendment to those rules. And essentially, what we're looking to do is update those to ensure that we are consistent with current practices and policies that are in place. I want to inform the board we'll be bringing kind of conforming amendments or other adjustments in other codes that align to this at a future date. For example, small revisions to our zoning and development ordinance and small revisions to our road standards that are out there to remove any conflicts we may have. I do want to highlight, since we have PGE in the room, we provide this service in concert and in partnership with Portland General Electric. But with that, actually, I want to highlight and thank Wendy Coriel for her good work in reviewing these code amendments. I want to thank Jeff Munns with County Council, who has also taken a thorough review of these adjustments or revisions to the current code. And we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. Oh, we do recommend approval. My apologies. Thank you so much.
Any questions?
I just have a comment. Because our new PG representative's in the room, I just want to make a comment, kind of related to this, but not really. You know, we did spend a lot of our capital trying to update our facilities. I know the PG made investments as well to put in LEDs in the guise or purpose of trying to save money and energy and for all those good things. And you know, I'm kind of a systems thinker, and knowing where we are today, I'm looking forward to sitting down with you and chatting with you. But I'm kind of concerned that a lot of the steps we took to gain capacity to serve our community is now being absorbed by things we did not anticipate. You know, whether they're server farms or whether they are AI facilities, and it seems like those folks are getting I won't say a free ride, but I'm not sure people are paying their freight for something we made sacrifices for years and years and years to become more efficient with our power. I think we did this with the understanding that we would save money, and instead, obviously, rates have gone up considerably, and there's a number of reasons for that. I get that, but I'm going to just say that it feels like instead of being rewarded, we're being punished. I don't mean that personally. Thank you. That's all I have.
I was waiting for a street lighting joke. My apologies for the no. That's usually what.
Well,
it's an illuminating.
It was not a bright topic.
There we go.
So
He wanted
sorry.
to shed some,
there
he
you
wanted to
go.
shed some light on it. There you go.
you're learning.
I'm learning, sorry.
All right, well, at this point, I'll open a public hearing and ask the clerk to moderate that for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If there's anyone physically present today who wishes to comment on this specific item, this is your opportunity to please come forward and deposit a blue card in the box to my right. Mr. Chair, seeing no members of the public physically present who wish to comment on this specific item, with your assent, I'll move to those attending virtually. If you're attending this meeting virtually and wish to comment on this specific public hearing, this is your opportunity to please raise your hand. I will call on you in the order that I see. This is a final call. If you wish to comment on this specific matter, to please raise your hand. Mr. Chair, I see no other members of the public physically or virtually present today who wish to comment on this matter.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Seeing any other comments or questions? Oh, Diana Helm, go ahead.
I want to echo what Commissioner Savas said, and I'm wondering, Heidi, I know you and I are getting together pretty soon, but maybe when you come to your presentation, you know, on our cell phones where you pull up your storage, right? And it gives you like how much of your storage is by photos or by your email or whatever. I've been hearing the data centers are not the culprits in this. So I'm just wondering, I'd love to see a chart of where our energy is going. And I think it would be helpful to see not a pie chart, but something of the sorts that would help us kind of understand where our energy is mostly going.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
And I have a question.
Go ahead.
Speaking of those centers, do we have much development going on with these centers here in Oregon? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if PGE can give us some of that information. I know that in other parts of the country, they've become real hubs. And again, the infrastructure necessary for these centers is enormous, as well as the energy. So I'd be interested to see, do we have a similar hub here that is impacting our energy resources? Yeah.
PG will come back to you at a later date with this information.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I was asking for it now.
So, okay. So this will return on our January 29th business meeting for second reading, correct, Gary?
Yes.
All right. With that, there's no other comments. I'll adjourn as the Service District Number 5 Board of Directors and reconvene as Board of County Commissioners, and I'll turn to Gary again.
Great. Thank you, Wendy and Dan and Jeff. Next is the consent agenda for the Board of County Commissioners. It's a long one, as you've been on break for a few weeks. Andrew, would you please read the consent agenda?
Consent agenda for the Board of County Commissioners. Item A, elected officials. 1, approval of previous business meeting minutes for the Board of County Commissioners. 2, approval of an amendment to a software contract agreement with Carpal Solutions for legal case management system. Amendment value is $85,900 for 1 year. Total contract value is $179,650 for 2 years. Funding is through budgeted county general funds. 3, approval of a grant acceptance from the Oregon Department of Justice for Victims of Crime Act and Criminal Finance Account non-competitive program. Grant value is $749,369 for 1 year. Funding is through the Oregon Department of Justice. No county general funds are involved. 4, approval of a grant application to the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission for behavioral health clinician services. Application value is $1,500,000 for 2 years. Funding is through the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission. No county general funds are involved. 5, approval of a personal services contract with the Pathfinder Network for drug and alcohol jail counseling services. Contract value is $406,319 for 2 years. Funding is the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission. No county general funds are involved. 6, approval of a grant application to the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission for retail theft missions. Application value is $1,018,969 for 2 years. Funding is the Oregon Criminal Justice Commission. No county general funds are involved. B, finance. 1, approval of a lease amendment with Willamette Building Partnership RC for an additional month of Willamette Building use while completing move-out. Amendment value is $5,927.90 for 1 month. Total agreement value is $594,441.98 for 7 years. Funding is through federal, state, and local grants and fee-for-service revenue and $350,000 of budgeted county general funds. Juvenile. 1, approval of personal services contract with Clarvita for emergency youth shelter services. Agreement value is approximately $402,918.50 for 5 years. Funding is through budgeted county general funds. 2, approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Youth Authority for expunction of juvenile records. Agreement value is $170,338.80 for 2 years. Funding is the Oregon Youth Authority. No county general funds are involved. D, Health, Housing, Human Services. 1, approval of a revenue intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Health Authority for a problem gambling prevention study. Agreement value is $12,000 for 9 months. Funding is the Oregon Health Authority. No county general funds are involved. 2, approval of a contract amendment with HDS Companies for tenant and landlord portal software. Amendment value is $225,922 for 2 years. Total contract value is $363,192 for 5 years. Funding is through Metro Supportive Housing Services Measure funds. No county general funds are involved. 3, approval of a participation agreement with the Oregon Health Authority for an alternative payment methodology to incentivize quality over quantity of health center visits. Agreement value is $21,600,000 for 2 years. Funding is the Oregon Health Authority. No county general funds are involved. 4, approval of an amendment to a behavioral health services agreement with Trillium Community Health Plan for behavioral health and care coordination services, including peer support, mobile crisis response, and provider oversight. Amendment value is $134,465.35 for 3 months. Total agreement value is $990,604.65 for 27 months. Funding is the Oregon Health Plan. No county general funds are involved. 5, approval of personal services contract with Youth Era for the Clackamas Drop-In Center and peer support services for youth and young adults. Contract value is $375,000.67 for 14 months. Funding is the Oregon Health Authority and the Oregon Health Plan. No county general funds are involved. 6, approval of an amendment to a revenue intergovernmental agreement with the Oregon Health Authority for public health services program implementation. Amendment value is $19,485.89 for 1 year. Total agreement value is $6,433,137.11 for 2 years. Funding is the Oregon Health Authority. No county general funds are involved. 7, Approval of an amendment to a motel hotel services contract with YKC Hospitality for on-call hotel rooms used as temporary housing. Amendment value is $795,775 for 6 months. Total contract value is $3,243,900 for 2 years. Funding is through Metro Supportive Housing Services Measure funds. No county general funds are involved. 8. Approval of an intergovernmental grant agreement with the Oregon Health Authority for the Community Mental Health Program funds and approval to submit the 2026-2027 Community Mental Health Program local plan. Agreement value is $18,108,772.52 for 18 months. Funding is the Oregon Health Authority and $60,000 of budgeted county general funds. E. Transportation Development. 1. Approval of a board order vacating a portion of Zivney Lane, a non-maintained local access road. Order value is $2,899.09. Funding is through the petitioner. No county general funds are involved. 2. Approval of a board order vacating portions of Tendril Lane, a non-maintained local access road. Order value is $3,811.35. Funding is through the petitioner. No county general funds are involved. 3. Approval of public improvement contract with K&L Industries for the Birchill Fielding Paving Project. Contract value is $225,555 for 6 months. Funding is through county road funds. No county general funds are involved. 4. Approval of personal services contract with Consor North America for the Oak Grove Elementary Crosswalks Project. Contract value is $179,559 for 2 years. Funding is the Oregon Department of Transportation and the County Road Fund. No county general funds are involved. 5. Approval of a contract with Diexis for the Road Safety Vision Zero Suite Crash Analytics software. Contract value is $177,500 for 5 years. Funding is the County Road Fund. No county general funds are involved. 6. Approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District for public improvements in support of the Concord Park and Community Center and the Oak Lodge Library. No fiscal impact. Agreement duration is 2 years. No county general funds are involved. Mr. Chair, that concludes the Board of County Commissioners consent agenda.
Thank you, Andrew. Does anyone wish to remove any item from the consent agenda? Seeing none, may I have a motion?
I move we approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Schrader has moved to approve the consent agenda as read. Commissioner Helm has seconded that. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, would you please call the poll again?
Commissioner Savas.
Aye.
Commissioner Schrader.
Aye.
Commissioner Helm.
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
All right. I'll now recess this Board of County Commissioners, convene as North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District Board of Directors. Gary.
Next is the consent agenda for the North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District. Andrew, would you please read the consent agenda?
North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District Board of Directors consent agenda. Item A, approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the Department of Transportation Development for public improvements in support of the Concord Park and Community Center and the Oak Lodge Library. No fiscal impact. Agreement duration is 2 years. No county general funds are involved. Mr. Chair, that concludes the Board of Directors consent agenda.
Thank you. And my directors now would like to remove anything from the consent agenda. Seeing no one wants to do that, how about a motion maybe?
Move to approve the North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District consent agenda.
Second.
Right, Director Savas has moved to approve the North Clackamas Parks Recreational District consent agenda. It's been seconded by Commissioner Schrader. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Clerk, you're up.
Director Helm.
Aye.
Director Schrader.
Aye.
Director Savas.
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I'll now adjourn as North Clackamas Parks and Recreation District Board of Directors and reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners, and I'll turn once again to Gary.
Thank you. Next is County Administrator Update. That is me. I have 2 things for you today. First, I want to acknowledge documents I signed on the board's behalf during your recess. Per County Code Appendix C, Section C-050-0100, Section 5, the county administrator has authority to sign contracts on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners in any dollar amount when the board is on recess for at least 2 consecutive weeks. I rarely, if ever, sign anything when you're on recess unless it is absolutely urgent, and there was 1 item I signed on your behalf during your recess from December 18, 2025 through January 12, 2026. and it's right there on the screen, and it's published online. It was for Health, Housing, and Human Services. Approval of a revenue healthcare services contract with Care Oregon for the Primary Care Payment Model Program. The contract value is approximately $1 million for 1 year. Funding is through Care Oregon. No county general funds are involved. The contract was due December 31st, 2025. Staff did everything right. Care Oregon didn't get us information back until after your last business meeting of the calendar year. Because no general funds were involved, it's an existing program, I felt comfortable signing this, and I did it. So I don't need a ratification. I've done it on your behalf per the county code. But I wanted to tell you I've done it. It will be published in our records and recordings, so it's for the files. But if you do have any questions or reprimand, I'm happy to hear it now.
Right. Is there anything else, Gary?
Yes, thank you. So the good news I'd like to share with the second part of my update is I really want to recognize our staff for their incredible response during the rain and wind event we had in December that caused significant flooding here in Clackamas County. Our staff did multiple things to support the public during those very dangerous days, such as distributed urgent public messaging, set evacuation levels, set up a shelter for people in collaboration with the American Red Cross, set up a shelter for livestock, cleared landslides and trees from several roadways, updated our website so the public could see what was happening when, including our evacuation map. Our sheriff's deputies knocked on doors to inform the public about the situation and threats and posted evacuation notices on buildings. And the county coordinated with Clackamas Fire for water rescues. And yes, there were several water rescues for people who were trapped in their vehicles due to flooding. We had multiple county departments that supported this effort, all led by disaster management, but I want to name them. I'm not going to mention specific employee names because there's too many and I'll miss someone, but the departments that participated were the Sheriff's Office, Transportation and Development, Health, Housing and Human Services, Water Environment Services, Technology Services, CCOM 911, Facilities, Finance, County Council, County Administration, Public and Government Affairs, all led by disaster management. A couple hundred employees dropped their day-to-day work to help support the Emergency Operations Center and this work. So I want to thank all the staff that did phenomenal work during the holiday season to support our public during that time, and that's what we do in general, and especially when there's a state of emergency. So thank you to our incredible staff who helped stand up during that disaster. That is my update for today. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Gary. All right, now it's time for Commissioner communication, and I'm going to start with Commissioner Schrader.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to echo what Gary said. For me, it really delineates what the importance of counties are, because we're the entity that really takes care of the citizens when there is, catastrophes like this or issues of public safety. And we've been through it all. We've had wildfires where we had to evacuate half of our county, I remember, mostly from the rural areas. We've had ice storms with trees falling down and massive damage from that. We got through COVID. And I have to tell you, at some point, I asked somebody, when do you think the asteroid's going to hit? Okay, because that's kind of what we were dealing with. And this, again, to me, is an example of why county functions are so critically important, particularly in the arena of emergency management, because all these things take money. And without the revenue streams that we get from the federal government and funneled through the state, we can't perform those functions. So that's one of the reasons why we try and keep close tags on Congress and what they're doing and what it does to impact not just our county through these emergencies, but also counties across the nation. And when this county responds, it responds, and we save lives. So thank you for your work, Gary. I wasn't here when this was happening. I was visiting family, but I was following it on the news feeds, and I felt very, very, optimistic and feeling good that we had people on the ground making sure everybody was safe and sound. A couple of other things. I was going to talk a little bit about a risk I'm taking, and I call it the risk of leading. And I have thrown my hat in the ring to be second vice president of the National Association of Counties. And what I've been thinking about as I move through my platform, which will be posted here sooner than later, is what is leadership? How do we lead, and why is it so important? And it brought me back to my days when I was first a commissioner over 20 years ago, when I took the County Leadership Institute class through the Association of Oregon Counties. And it was very meaningful to me because I was new. And I am not a political science person. I was trained as a field biologist. So I'm in this milieu now of public involvement and all the functions that counties have. And I knew that I had to get additional training so I could be effective. And so I went to, it was in New York City at the time at the County Leadership Institute. It was with Marty Linsky, and he wrote a book, Ronald Heifetz, and he wrote a book called pretty much Leadership on the Line, How to Survive the Perils, essentially, of leadership. And one of the things I've learned there was this, that, and I always kind of keep this on my desk as an aphorism, actually. It's like, when do you stand on the balcony and watch the dance? And then when do you get down from the balcony to enter the dance? And I think the point is you really have to assess a situation. And oftentimes leadership is all about the timing. And the other piece I took away from that class was sometimes no response is the best response, because sometimes you need that space to be reflective, to think it through, and make sure your response fits the situation, and they're not reactionary. You're really basically thinking it through to help solve an issue or a problem that we're dealing with. So I think as I go through this new challenge that I have foisted upon myself, I've been collecting books on leadership, and I hope I can give you a quick book talk about leadership. I didn't bring the book with me today because it sits on my nightstand, because whenever I am struggling with something or thinking something through, I always return to that book to help figure out what needs to be done and how to do it. And I also want to thank all of you, my colleagues, for supporting me in this endeavor. I am exhilarated, but also somewhat terrified. I have to tell you, this is really putting yourself out there for over 3,000 counties in the United States of America, and making sure that Congress does what it needs to do to give us the revenue streams we need, and also that as those streams pass through the state, that we get the appropriate dollars we need. Thank you for your encouragement and your support, and we'll see what happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Savas, go ahead.
Yeah, I have to comment. So Commissioner Schrader, thanks for that. I really appreciate the dance floor analogy. So I have to ask, when there's a dance floor and no one's getting out on the stage, are you the first to get on the stage?
I usually try to be, because I love to dance. And sometimes, and we all do this sometimes at home. You put on the music and you just dance, right? And this, being a commissioner, has been one of the best dances I've ever been to, because it's such a meaningful job, and the people you work with are absolutely fantastic. That includes colleagues as well as the staff. And of course, we have the best administrator in the United States of America, in my opinion, as Mr. Schmidt. And he has been, all of you have been my friend and mentors for many years. So let's just dance together. Okay.
Well, thanks for that. I'm going to use that as a segue, because often what I've learned in my number of years in public service is that sometimes committees, people don't speak up, right? And it takes, people got to be bold, right? It's to actually speak up and say something, even though you might have to repeat it and you might feel that your words or your efforts or your points being made are not being heard or people really care. And, I've had comments along the way, especially days of JPAC meetings, for example, this morning, and people say, Paula, how do you do that? You keep on saying it. No one says any, And this morning, some people echoed a lot of my concerns. So, it is refreshing. But the point of the matter is that some of the things I've been pointing out for many years, 25 years, 27 years, I had a long conversation with the TriMet general manager yesterday, and I said, I've been saying this for 25 years. You're not listening. Not he himself, but the organization. And it was nice this morning to hear some of the people echo just that, and a lot of conversations out of yesterday's meeting, the C4 Metro Subcommittee meeting. But you know what? We had to speak up. You know, if nothing else, it's on the record. Our meetings are recorded often, they're on the record. And I had to use that yesterday in a conversation with TriMet to say, you know, actually, once you go back and look at the record, you will see and hear these points being made because time goes by and people want to change the narrative, you know, to defend themselves or defend the position of a jurisdiction or whatnot. And I'll just say that, you know, I think leadership is speaking up and doing it in a proper way, not yelling, not screaming, being respectful, making your points, being as crystal clear as you can, articulate as you can. And, you know, I might not be the most articulate person, but I'm working on it. And it's a life's work. I'm going to speak up about something earlier that we approved earlier that bugs me. And I mentioned it to you all before, and I want to raise it again. We approved ZO 247-25 and ZO 248-25. And if you remember, that was the Rose Villa issue. I raised the issue of the crosswalk. I raised concerns, and I was very specific in my statement when I said it is hard for people to see pedestrians that are going southbound on River Road, not the issue of people going northbound. And I raised that point. So several times during the last few weeks, literally 2 or 3 times a week, I go by there. And I think I have figured out why it is. And, you know, I'm going to use the example of Waldo. Remember those things, you try and find Waldo in that very complex thing? It's clutter, right? If you put Waldo by himself on a screen, it's pretty easy to find Waldo. But when you bury him in all that clutter, and these transportation-oriented developments that look a lot like where this particular crosswalk is, you've got trees and you've got cars and you've got these buildings that are really close to the sidewalk. And it's clutter. So I was sharing with you a couple days ago that I was driving, actually I share with Dan, I was driving, again, past this crosswalk, and there was a pedestrian. I didn't see the pedestrian, but the lights were flashing because it's one of those things you actuate the lights. I could see the light, but I can't see the pedestrian. And it wasn't that and sure, there's a accommodation to bump out, but it was the clutter that blinded it. Until that person stepped out on the street, then I realized, maybe, because I'm driving by, I thought, well, maybe someone already went through the crosswalk, right? And I was going slow enough, and I could have braked, and I was far enough away. But the point of the matter is that we are seeing a record number of people. It's almost doubled the fatalities in local roadways, and that's a topic everywhere. And, you know, personal story, get my composure here. If it was not for, you know, public safety issues, road design, drunk drivers, whatnot, you know, I still have a mom and a brother. And so I take this stuff pretty seriously. And, you know, when I opened my business on McLaughlin Boulevard, there were 3 people that died just in the first 3 months of having my business it had nothing to do with my business, but in that area, that vicinity. And there was people crossing the road. And they were going from one tavern, one watering hole to another watering hole across the street. And, you know, they shouldn't have been out in the street late at night in dark clothing anyhow, and they probably didn't have but public safety is a big issue, and we talk about it, and then now we're redesigning streets, and we're making things worse. And I think to some degree, we need to figure out why and not just blow it off, but actually get to the root of it. So, you know, fortunately, I bent Dan's ear, Dan Johnson, head of DTD, on this crosswalk thing. We received an email from the Oak Lodge Community Council with regards to the Concord crosswalk, and that was discussed last night in CPRD. I appreciate they're going to make another change, and I want to see how that works. But I want to just draw attention to the fact that I raised that. It's on public record, and I certainly hope that when senior citizens are crossing this new TOD that's going to go across the street, this high-density field, I hope that no one gets killed in there. You know, when I raised the issue of a number of things about, hey, there's a tendency, this curved road and the blind spots, there is a road, and when Barb Cartmill was in Dan's position and she was here, I raised an issue about a particular property and a particular road design and a development. I said, it's going to make things worse. And it is. It's still bad. And it's so bad that there's actually, I'm going to bring this out here pretty soon, about how many incidences where cars have gone off the road and either completely tore down the signs, and fortunately no one's been hit. Well, I take that back. Someone was hit, but no one was killed. But these design things, I don't know if there's anything we can do about it, but what I'm sometimes am bothered by, and not a good week, unfortunately, but I'm while they're on the record, if we can do something about it, we lead by example. I want to get back to leadership. You lead by example by doing something, not just ignoring it. And I'm going to bring this back up, and I'm going to continue to be persistent about some of these things as opposed to blowing them off. So I just hope that, again, we make our environment in Clackamas County, transportation, public safety, whatever it may be. I mean, we're mandatory reporters. When we see domestic violence happen, or we see something happen, or we see child abuse, we are required to report it. Not for the sake of reporting it, but for the sake of trying to save a life, right, or prevent those types of things. So I'm sorry for my passion or tenor about this, but that one today, for me to approve that today, I mean, I voted against that for that zone change, and only because I didn't have an issue with the development. I have an issue with not having a response to a safety issue. And Chair, I yield back.
Thank you. Speaking of leadership, I was given a book last September for my birthday by a dear friend, and over the Christmas holiday, I was able to finally read it, and it's called Strong Ground. I'm sure you're all familiar with Brené Brown, but it is a book on leadership. I encourage you to read it. One of the things that she talks a lot about is the difference between leadership and management. And you need leaders and you need managers. And then she talks extensively about transformation. And this spoke to me because as we talk about institutions or systems, I will say systems that are broken, i.e. ODOT, I'll use that as a great example. We're trying to do these Band-Aid approaches, and it is a system that the transformation they're talking about needs to be dismantled and started over because it hasn't worked and because it is there's been no accountability. I know they're working on things, but again, I feel they're Band-Aids to a much bigger issue. I was glad to see people chime in this morning at the JPAC meeting and support your out-of-the-box thinking. I will say that the out-of-the-box thinking is something that we as government institutions don't do enough of. We use mirrors as our lens oftentimes to move forward, and they're not really good lens to work with. Anyway, great book, read it. I know you'll read it in a day and you'll remember every single word that you read, but it also applies to your job as well, Gary, because it's a lot of things in the book spoke to me about how to, and well, she starts out the book talking about getting yelled at by her personal trainer, which is, which really actually hit home. So that said, yes, I attended the C4 meeting yesterday morning, the JPAC meeting this morning, but most interestingly, my day yesterday was up at Mount Hood, meeting for the Mount Hood Corridor Wildfire Partnership Disaster Management. And they were thrilled to have a county commissioner there. Said they haven't had anyone since Ken Hummerson's days. So that was, they were like, wow, we have a county commissioner, which is nice. But I want to get involved in this more. And they were represented by Clackamas County, our disaster management, Jay Wilson and Johnny Lewis were there. PGE was there, Clackamas Fire was there, the CPOs, the HOAs. This truly is a partnership. And they talk about leaders. This group of people are getting ahead of potential wildfire problems. And they're working together from Sandy up to the top of Mount Hood on their radio program. PGE has been donating repeaters that they're putting on top of water tanks. They're underfunded. This is why I keep bugging Gary about this, they need more help, and we're working on grants and things where maybe we can help them a little bit. In May, they're having an evacuation simulation, a 2-day, yeah, it's gonna be pretty fascinating. Yeah, so they're looking for volunteers. So if anyone up at the mountain wants to volunteer for that, they're gonna be sending out some information on pretending to be evacuated, meaning they're gonna possibly shut your power off. They want people to have radios. They need more people with ham radio expertise. During the storm in December, they only had cell service for 24 hours. And so they're working with the legislature to get that cellular service expanded to at least a 2-week period, because 24 hours during a situation like that is not enough. Then somebody mentioned well, why don't you bring in cows? Well, we all sat there and went, how are cows going to help? Cows are cellulars on wheels, and these are actually wheel-in networks. Well, Johnny didn't know what it was either, so I didn't feel so bad. And he's in disaster management. So anyway, they are, but they need one on site, because oftentimes if a disaster happens, waiting for someone to bring in that piece of equipment is too late. So anyway, I want to be involved in helping them as much as possible in moving this forward, because they're doing a great job. They had a speaker, they had another meeting yesterday morning, and they had a speaker there from the Paradise, California fires. And the things that could be done that maybe they're not thinking of, and one of them was mental health help after a disaster, and how people who've lost their homes or have lost pets or anything, that these are things that we haven't really thought about. So I want to get H3S involved in this as well. Anyway, great group of people. They're really looking forward to our town hall coming up around the 1st of April for the short-term rental topic. So anyway, it was kind of an exciting afternoon, and then I had to rush back for a quick little Zoom at 4 o'clock. And I think that is it, Chair, for now.
Thank you. Thanks for being up there. Just real quickly, a couple things. Wanted to go back and echo what Gary said about staff during the flooding. I don't think I even mentioned I had a big flood myself, so it was my first day off, and I thought, welcome to a day off. And that water just would not stop coming. So I know a lot of people had to deal with that, and I know that having the county step up and be there really means a big difference. So thank you to all the staff that worked during those hours. I know that it just didn't seem to stop raining, is all I can say. And we really appreciate county staff being out there. So just some announcements. One of which is public participation is wanted. The county is seeking feedback on transportation system plan and is inviting the public to weigh in. So this plan is updated every 10 years, so now's your moment to get your project considered. There's an online survey and 6 virtual open houses. You can find out about this at www.clackamas.us/transportation/TSP-update. And Andrew's got that up. Thank you, Andrew. And I'll continue in going that for folks as a reminder, January is also Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Clackamas County has a number of valuable resources available for survivors of human trafficking. And one of these groups I've worked extensively with. A Village for One is one organization, and the other one I've worked quite a bit with is Safety Compass. Amazing individuals that run that. Just a couple of nonprofits serving youth and adults. So if you believe or you've encountered a survivor of trafficking, you can call this 24/7 hotline. It's 971-235-0021. And just a final comment. Monday, we celebrate Martin Luther King Day, and just want to end my comment with one of his famous quotes, and that is, "True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice." And with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and this will conclude our meeting for today. Thank you.